Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechWhat Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an absolute amazing Sunday. For those that are tuning in for the first time, you guys might be asking, what is this Sunday Stock Talk? Well, first of all, my name's Ricky. We run the largest YouTube channel for those who invest in the stock market. We also run the largest private trading community out there called TechWhat Solutions. We have over 160,000 members. It's free. If you've ever wanted to surround yourself and learn more about investing in the stock market, I'd encourage you to click that third link in the description. It will bring you on over to the Facebook group and you can simply join for free. And we also offer a free Discord chat. I also offer Learn, Plan, Profit, which is our private course group. You get to watch me trade live every single morning, Monday through Friday at market open. So again, for daylight savings, that did change. So that means that now the market opens at 7:30 a.m. for me. That's Mountain Standard Time. I know for those in California, if I'm not mistaken, market opens 6:30 for you. I think that's right. Yeah, 6:30 a.m. What is that? Pacific Standard Time and stuff like that. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to everyone that's tuning in right now. As you guys can see, you're going to be able to see your message. Where's it at? Boom, right there. All right, here we go. I'm going to say what's up to everybody. But yeah, if you guys want to be able to watch me trade live in the stock market every single day, we are still hosting that $500 in laptop giveaway. I would encourage you at the very end of the video, please don't forget, click that first link in the description to learn a little bit more about that. And we're going to be announcing the winner November 10th this Saturday, right? Live at around 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So, hey, what's going on, Billy? What's up? What's up? Edwin putting that bread, so let's get that bread, right? You guys crack me up with these jokes. I feel so, I've never felt, right? That's a pretty hip thing, Ishmael. Yeah, let's get this bread. What's another?
I always say let's get these crumbs.
Yeah, let's get these crumbs. That's a newer way of saying it and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I uploaded a video talking about, like, you know, the three sacrifices or, you know, the three things I sacrifice to becoming like a little bit better off, right? So feel free to check out that video if you guys haven't done so already. Oh, what's that? Oh, yes, I did see that. So that's actually something that I was going to talk about. It's actually on my screen right now. So it's /NG. /NG had a huge push up to 3.5, right? So for all those, so again, this is the overall pattern. Looking at the 180-day analysis, you could see that it was starting to show signs of almost like a peak formation and really starting to consolidate. Because natural gas pushed up so aggressively, we're most likely, if this price holds to around where it's at right now, we're most likely going to see a very green day for the people that held UGAS and a very red day for those that held DGAS. And again, I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. There's no other thing that I could say other than, you know, this push was definitely very unpredictable. Had a huge push. I don't know who was trading or who wasn't. Usually, you know, we don't like to hold, especially these like ETFs or stocks over the weekend, especially with the market volatility, right? So I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. Let's go ahead and get right to it. So within our Sunday Stock Talk, if this is the first time you ever joined us, we pretty much break down stocks in real time. So this isn't like where you're going to find any stock suggestions in any way. The way that I would utilize this Sunday Stock Talk is there's going to be a bunch of members within TechWhat Solutions and Learn, Plan, Profit that are going to be sharing, right? That are going to be sharing their number one stocks that they see value in. So with that being said, you know, if you see value in any of the stocks that we break down, then you can simply add that stock to your watch list. If you don't see value in any of the stocks that we talked about today, then I hope the way that we perform our technical analysis can at least enlighten you and guide you in the right direction. So yeah, other than that, let's just get to it. And I'm really looking forward to this upcoming week. Due to overall market volatility and what I'm seeing right now with natural gas, we should see a pretty active week when it comes down to the overall market conditions. So again, let's keep it simple. Let's focus on whatever's actively trending up. Let's not try to predict reversals, and let's just have fun with it, right? Let's lock in those profits. Oh no, here we go. Yeah, so I almost got a phone call. Let me just make sure that this is all clear. Give me one quick second, guys, and I'm gonna go live. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and break these things down. So I'm gonna move my widget a little bit over just so I could see your guys' message. And then as you guys can see, all the callouts must be in ticker callout format. So what I mean by that is in this specific format where it shows the ticker symbol, the support and resistance, the entry point, sell point, and why it has potential. At the very end of the video, I'm going to recap just to make it more effective and efficient for all of us, at the very end of the video, I'm going to talk about, out of all the stocks that we broke down today, the ones that I truly see value in, out of the ones that we broke down, just to make it easier for those that have a little bit more of a difficult time following through, and that might be, a little bit newer to investing in the stock market. I want it to be fun and enjoyable for you as we go along. Make sure that you take some notes, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll try my best to answer them. So, yeah. Hey, what's going on, Tyler? What's up? What's up? Is stock trading hard? It's definitely not easy, right? I mean, if it was easy, then I think everyone would at least be successful in it, and that's definitely not, according to that success rate. So, hey, what's going on, Caesar? Thank you again for your time. Let me just make sure that I'm sharing my screen. Okay, we're good. Here we go. First ticker, Manuel. Thank you again for tuning in. We got ticker symbol Eric. I do remember breaking down ticker symbol Eric. This is ERIC, right? We talked about this overall pattern. I do remember looking at the 1 day, 1 minute chart and the volume being very low. Again, that's my specific, that's a reason that I personally wouldn't trade it. Looking at the 5 day analysis, which is looking at a little bit of a closer analysis on ticker symbol ERIC, so ticker symbol Eric, you could see that it normally, it doesn't mean that it has to, but it normally bounces. So it validates the support right around the SMA indicator. That's this green line that you see right here. Looking at as well on the 180-day chart, you can see that the overall SMA indicator tends to act as an overall support. So if I were to draw a pretty picture, right, and I would draw and try to have an understanding of where this thing is going to peak out at. So again, just trying to get a rough estimate. It doesn't have to be exact, areas or anything like that. But I want to get a better understanding of when something is a better deal to when something is more in that sell territory. So we're starting to see signs of an uptrend. But as you guys can see, look at the MACD. It's already starting to show signs of a pullback. That's not what normally happens when we're seeing signs of an uptrend. So looking a little bit more into it, we could see that it pushed up pretty aggressively. So what that means is there might be a pullback before it continues to push up. So again, I want to focus on whatever is actively trending up and showing signs of an uptrend. Based on previous patterns, it makes sense on why this thing can push up to, let's say previous highs at around 940. And looking at from 9 to 940, the margin of profit might be worth it for some traders. It might not be worth it for others. The margin of profit that I see here, based on my trendline tool, is about 4.5%. That's after it pulls back. If it pulls back, bounces on the EMA line, and then shows signs of an uptrend, and then you wait till it breaks $9. So again, it's a simple little breakdown in which that you can wait for that pullback confirmation. You could wait till it makes higher highs, and once it breaks $9, you can revisit ERIC and see if this is still something that you want to invest in. Going based off previous patterns, that's how I got the resistance at around $9.40. It doesn't even mean that it's going to hit that price point. I'm just going based off of that previous resistance. Due to the overall pattern and how it's been moving, it's been continuously making higher highs. So based on that pattern, it would make sense that it can not only hit 945, but actually exceed it if that pattern of the continuous higher highs and higher lows continues. So it's just something that we'll have to follow up with. And again, this is just, I'm going to create a new watch list and just for the Sunday stock talk. So I'm going to go here, create watch list, and then Sunday stock talk 1. So we'll do that, right? We'll add ERIC as that was one of the stocks that we broke down today, and then we'll move on to the next one. So let's see where we're at. All right, ticker symbol I from David. Be sure to copy whatever it is that you're sharing, just because obviously I might not see your ticker on the first go. So ticker symbol I, showing signs of a continuous uptrend pattern. You guys know that I personally love these specific patterns. Again, that's my personal criteria. It doesn't mean that you have to follow any of this. What I'm going to do is, again, we've talked about the 3 stages of a reversal. As of right now, the SMA line has been acting as a support, meaning that it normally, the overall pattern normally holds above the SMA indicator. As of right now, we're seeing a lot of consolidation around the SMA line, but as of right now, it's not making higher highs. And again, I want to invest in something that's showing signs of growth. Looking at ticker symbol I, there is no signs of growth just yet. So with that being said, all I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alert. I do see a lot of upside potential, right? Even based on previous patterns, let's say it doesn't even hit highs of $37.70. Let's say it just goes to previous highs at around $34, right? Or $34.50, around this general area, right? To when it breaks and starts to make higher highs, that would be around $28.30. That margin of profit is still huge. I don't think anyone can question that. That's over 18% margin of profit, and that's waiting for it to make higher highs, and that's being at a conservative resistance based on previous patterns. So I really like this breakdown. Its overall direction is showing signs of an uptrend. The margin of profit is worth it for me. Now the last thing that I just have to wait for is confirmation, because just as much as it could go up, it could go down, right? And again, there is no valid support until it actually validates it itself. So that's one thing that I'll follow up with. And again, I'll add my ticker symbol I right there, and then we can follow with that. I'm also gonna set an alert if this thing ends up breaking and making lower lows. So I'm gonna close that out. I'm gonna make it easier for you guys, just so if you wanna follow through and keep up to date with the stocks that we're adding to our list, you guys should be able to see them on the left-hand side of my screen. I think it should be on the left-hand side of your screen as well. All right, here we go. So Driz is saying ticker symbol SENS. SENS. Let's see. Okay, so what do you guys think about this one? So I see a little bit more of a horizontal pattern. So a support right around 350 and overall resistance right around 450 based off previous patterns. There might be a slight resistance that we might experience right around the SMA indicator. This stock based on previous patterns as of right now, it's not something that's like just shooting up, right? It's something that's progressively, making higher highs and then higher lows and then pulls back and makes higher highs. So the pattern is pretty inconsistent. I don't personally like that. There has been one time where it really just shot up and it completed this entire margin from 350 to around 450, but it's been struggling to do that. The resistance right here, as you can see last time that it pushed up, it went up to highs of 416, 417, and then got rejected back to that 350 support. So again, you might want to ask yourself, as of right now, the way that I would view this is the SMA line is a resistance. The overall support is right around 350. And looking at the current price point and where it's at right now, it's closer to the resistance than it is to the support. So the margin of profit just isn't worth it for me. And what I mean by that is, based on the current price point that it has right now and where the resistance is at, that opportunity, the 5.2%, does not outweigh the margin of loss, 8%. And again, that's the easiest way for me to put it. Margin of profit does not outweigh the margin of loss, so the risk or the opportunity cost isn't worth it for me. Again, it can be worth it if it breaks above that resistance and starts to show signs of it making higher highs. If it ends up breaking the support, I want to stay up to date with this as well, and we'll simply just follow up with it. So ticker symbol SENS, there we go. So let's just make sure that everything is good. Here we go. Ticker symbol CROX. Ticker symbol CROX, showing signs of it making higher highs, 100%. We've talked about this one week after week as it's been consolidating right around the SMA line. You guys can go. I make a Sunday stock talk every single Sunday at 6:30. So feel free to go, even 4 Sundays ago. And this thing has been in our watch list. It became, part of that sell territory or that sell range as it was peaking out right here. As you guys can see, it was very overextended. The EMA line was showing signs of a peak formation. If you were to think about a hill or a mountain, you would see that this to be more of a peak, and then it started showing signs of a downtrend pattern, overall candles trading below the EMA line. We got a lot of consolidation here, and it wasn't until it broke above $20 that it really started to make higher highs. Now we're approaching this general area as it gets closer to $22 of it becoming more overbought, meaning that yes, it can continue to uptrend with the idea in mind that yes, it can pull back. Also, one thing that you might want to look out for is just for its up and coming earnings report on 11/8/2018. Looking at the previous earnings reports, it acted as a positive catalyst for 2 earnings ago, and it acted as a negative catalyst, last time it had its earnings. And although it did hit its expectation both times, its guidance might have been a little bit off. So just something to look out for. Earnings can act as both a positive and negative catalyst, and it's going to be very unfortunate for you if you buy at the very top and then it ends up selling off. I personally don't like holding during earnings. That's my opinion. That's my style of trading. It can mean absolutely nothing to you if you like trading during earnings and you have a high success rate. So just wanted to share that with you. As of right now, I do see this thing to show signs of an uptrend, but the way that I would trade it, if I could share that with you, the way that I would trade this is showing signs of an uptrend. I like how it's currently showing signs of an uptrend on the, based on recent patterns. Also, looking at the 180-day chart, I like how that overall direction continues to make higher highs. So based off of that, it continues to make higher highs. I know that it does have the potential to hit highs of 22. But because it's so overbought, what's the approach? What's the approach that you think that I would take as something is overbought but still showing signs of an uptrend? So if I, see opportunity of, let's say ticker symbol CROX is showing signs of an uptrend, what is it that I would probably, treat it as? Would I treat it as a swing trade, or would I treat it as a day trade? What do you guys think? So some of you guys are saying for the pullback, that might be an option, right? So again, so it might not pull back though, right? It might not pull back before it continues to uptrend, as it's so close to $22 already, right? It's already hit highs of about $21.50. So the way that I would personally do it, and again, this is my opinion, this is not something that you have to follow, but again, it's this concept. CROX is irrelevant. It's the concept that as something is showing signs of an uptrend and its overall direction is showing signs of a continuous uptrend. So on the 180-day chart, uptrend. Recent patterns, uptrend. But now, does the margin of profit outweigh the margin of loss? Not really, but it still has a little bit more margin for it to hit that resistance and then fully sell off based off previous patterns. So an approach that I can take is if something is showing signs of an uptrend and intraday on the 1-day, 1-minute chart is trading in between the middle and top VWAP and it's working towards hitting $22, I can take advantage of that opportunity as a day trade with the idea in mind that I would not swing trade it. Why would I not swing trade something like CROX? Why? It's not that why I wouldn't, but why would it, like based on risk management, not make so much sense to swing trade something like CROX in comparison to day trade it? So yeah, that's the easiest way to put it. Again, in super simple terms. It's not the best deal at $21.50. Looking at previous patterns, looking at where it was a week ago, sub $20, is $21.50 really a huge opportunity that I want to buy it and hold it? No, looking at previous patterns, it's overbought. Yes, it can continue to uptrade and touch or maybe exceed $22, but for how much longer before it pulls back? So because of that, if I see a day trade opportunity where it's working towards hitting $22 and it shows signs of a continuous uptrend intraday, then it makes sense on why I might want to trade it as a day trade, but not as a swing trade, meaning holding it for more than 1 day. It's this very simple concept of when you see something that's overbought but still showing signs of an uptrend, to kind of like approach it with ease, right? To make sure that your risk management is on point. That's just all I want to express when it comes down to ticker symbol CROX. So I'm going to set my alert here. Sorry for spending so much time on it. Again, CROX is irrelevant. It's more of the concept that I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope that made sense to some of you. And again, every time that you guys learn something new, hopefully I earn your guys' thumbs up. So you guys are doing an absolute amazing job with these tickers, much better than last week. Overall, ticker symbol REV showing signs of a recent uptrend, right? It continues to make higher highs and it tries to make higher lows as well, right? So as of right now, we're approaching this SMA line. It's showing signs of this potential reversal. Look at the MACD, look at the RSI, and look at the overall pattern. So it makes sense on why it can reverse. Also, looking at the support and resistance, I could almost treat this as kind of like, the support right here and the resistance. The resistance is kind of weird. It's pretty aggressive, right? A little bit. It's not a perfect kind of support and resistance. If anything, I can delete this one right here. And I can try to make it more symmetrical, right? If it makes you happy that, it makes more sense that way. In all honesty, it really doesn't matter. All I want to focus on is, okay, this thing has been showing signs of a pattern of making higher highs. How do I know that? Looking at this, boom, 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 right? Also higher lows, boom, boom, and a potential higher low. As of right now, it's still trading below this EMA line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alert for the break above $23 and simply follow up with it. I'm also going to set my alert here for the break above 25, and again, simply follow up with it. So I'm going to set another alert here for the break above 26, and again, follow up with it. If it completely breaks its pattern, I'll set my alert here, and again, simply follow up with it. As of right now, REV, yes, it's in that good deal range, but not a good buy. Why? Because it's a little bit more on the overbought. It's on the oversold side, but its overall direction. Again, if my sole focus is to grow my account, then I want to invest in patterns that are showing signs of growth. REV is just not there yet. So what I'm going to do is I would normally add this to the pending reversal watch list, but as of right now, I'm just going to add it to this watch list and follow up with it at the end of the video. So what happened with Armin? Spamming?
Yes.
Oh, these dingleberries. Was he saying stuff that was inappropriate?
No, just repetitive stock, not in the correct format.
Ah, okay. Sorry about that, team. All right, here we got Bonehead. So NGVC. What's going on, Bonehead? Hope you're having an amazing Sunday. Here we go. So this is the resistance that I see. Again, all I try to focus on are price points on where it normally peaks out at, so showing signs of resistance. Do you see why I see like 19 to 20 to be price points on where it's more on the overbought side? And as of right now, the SMA line is showing more signs of a support, right? So again, we're approaching this area based off previous patterns that normally would bounce around the SMA line. But as you guys can see, it's not really making higher highs, and its overall support is it's starting to almost like get closer and closer to breaking the support on the SMA line. This is where you want to be a little bit more selective with your entries, at least for myself, right? So again, it's in that good deal range, but no confirmation of an uptrend. So one thing that I would wait out for is a simple confirmation of an uptrend. And again, the margin of profit might not be worth it for everybody. It's a little bit over 5%. It's definitely something that would be worth it for myself. So I'm going to set the alert here for the break above 18 and simply follow up with it. So again, this is ticker symbol NGVC. Would this be the top stock that I would focus on this week? Not really. As of right now, the direction the EMA line is pointing down. If I want to grow my account this week, then it would make sense on why I would want to pay a little bit more attention to stocks that are currently trending up. That's what would make more sense to me. Again, but its direction can change. So we just simply have to follow up with it. I want to set an alert also for the break below 17 to stay up to date with its overall direction. So ticker symbol, what was this? RRD. I want to give a shout out to Ultra. Thank you again for tuning in to the Sunday Stock Talk. Hopefully I earned your thumbs up, and most importantly, hopefully you're enjoying it. So here we go. So RRD. All right, now I want everyone to help me out with this. So why is it that, again, this is my opinion, which is completely irrelevant to your style of trading, but why is it, for those that know me, would I not be so motivated to trade something like RRD? Why would I be a little bit more on edge to trade something like RRD? Here we go. So based on recent patterns, it has been showing signs of an uptrend. No question about that, right? But looking at, again, can you guys, so many of you guys are saying right now that it's extremely overbought, right? It's extremely overbought. Look at the RSI, look at the MACD. For those that are tuning in for the first time and are like, how do all these people know that this thing is overbought? Like, how do they know that I shouldn't buy this and all this stuff? First of all, you should only listen to yourself. And if you don't think that you're at a specific position where you can make a trade, then that's where you should start paper trading to practice everything that you learn. The second thing that I want to say is, what caused this huge, catalyst, positive catalyst in price? Can you guys let me know? What is it? Some of you that have TD Ameritrade will know right away. What happened recently that drove the price up? Look at its normal volume and look how much more the volume, how much more active it's been. There we go. Earnings. So they reported their earnings and it exceeded expectations and drove the price up. So again, what do we talk about when it comes down to earnings? Earnings can act as both a positive and negative catalyst temporarily if the overall news that they report isn't detrimental. So because just think about it like this. This report came out of, this earnings report of RRD. Let's say they ended up exceeding their earnings. So other investors are like, wow, that's cool. A lot more people got interested as they actually exceeded their earnings. So now more people are, aware of it or have invested in it. But once that hype, once that news dies out, and it takes like maybe a couple days or maybe a week or two, you will start to see that it will continue its old pattern and its old direction based on a lot of stocks that I've traded myself. And again, that's my opinion and that's based off my experience, and that's simply why I'm sharing this. RRD has been showing signs of an uptrend. I think we did an amazing, Ultra, you did an amazing job catching it. But now you have to ask yourself, is it too late? It's so overbought, just like we talked about in the last ticker for CROX. It's overbought to a point where it's bound to pull back. So with that idea in mind, if it continues to show signs of an uptrend and you see value in it and you're managing your risk accordingly and you feel comfortable, all power to you. But if you see that, hey, I'm not going to be as active as a day trader as I would want to, it's not a good deal. And I don't know if I'm there yet when it comes down to managing my risk. Maybe RRD isn't the safest play for you. I'm just sharing my opinion, if I were to be someone that's just getting started. There's no question that it's overbought. There's no question that its earnings was a catalyst. And there's no question that it's bound to pull back. So I just want to share that with you guys. Again, I'm going to add it to my list for the stocks we broke down today. I think it's due for a pullback before it continues to push up. But again, we'll just simply have to follow up with it and see what happens. We've gone through the entire week, which is even more time for this news to become less relevant. So let's go to the next one. Ticker symbol FANG. What's going on, Zachary? How we doing, Nish? Perfect. Good. All right. So we've done this before, or we've talked about FANG before. So what kind of pattern do you guys see here? So is this an ascending uptrend pattern? Is this a descending pattern? Is this a horizontal pattern? And explain to me, for those that are just getting started, what the heck do I mean by a horizontal pattern? Sideways pattern, yeah, whatever it is that you want to call it. You could call it a sandwich pattern, or a parallel pattern. It doesn't matter, right? Whatever makes most sense to you. So what is it that understanding horizontal patterns? They're one of my favorites because they're the easiest for me to understand and visually see. I think a lot of people would agree with me. Looking at this, how do I make sense of this? There's these lines everywhere. How do I know if at $115 if this is a good deal? Like what? So the pattern that I see here, and again, this is my opinion, is normally I'm trying to focus on price ranges. So I'm going to change my drawing tool and I'm going to change it to this rectangle. And normally, when ticker symbol FANG gets close to or near to the sub $115, meaning that when it goes and gets close to $150, so based off previous patterns, to around 105 to 115, this is normally where it bounces. So it tends to act as a support. Looking at previous patterns, again, because that's all I'm trading off of, not fundamentals, right? And again, that's my style of trading. It doesn't mean that it has to be yours. Looking at previous patterns, I could see that normally when it gets close to or near to $135, right? 135, look here. It pushes above 135, but from around 135 to 140, it becomes not so much of a good deal. More overbought. Right here, right here, right here, right here. Based on previous patterns, it's pretty consistent, 180 days. So now we go back to the basics of 3 steps that I like to focus on. I like to make sure that I'm getting a good deal. Does FANG offer that? Looking at previous patterns, I would say that I'm in that good deal price range. I think we could all agree on that, right? The second thing is I want to make sure that it's showing signs of an uptrend. As of right now, is ticker symbol FANG making higher highs? Is it making higher highs? If I want to grow my account, is this something that's currently showing signs of an uptrend? So, as of right now, I wouldn't say that it's making higher highs. As of right now, it's in that consolidation phase. We've talked about this multiple times before. 3 stages of a reversal. Rejection, that's when it makes lower lows. Consolidation, when it consolidates and it kind of just flatlines, right? And then the confirmation when it begins to make higher highs. I think this is very exciting because regardless if you choose to invest in this or not, if you're someone that's just getting started, I would follow, again, if you're someone that's just getting started, doesn't even have a brokerage account, forget about trading with real money. Just follow this. Write it down on a piece of paper. What does FANG what price point does it have to hit and what pattern does it have to show for it to be qualified as stock that you would buy? And then where would you sell it? And then where would you cut your losses? Formulate your whole plan. I think this one would be a very simple stock to follow. Again, also looking at previous patterns and how it moves. Understanding that this thing doesn't just shoot right up. That it has a flow on how it pushes up. It makes higher highs, it pulls back. It consolidates and then makes higher highs again and then pulls back. But then eventually gets that point, right? So the same thing with this. I'm going to set my alert here. Obviously, something that you guys have to be aware of is it has an up-and-coming earnings report. So its earnings report is on the 7th of November. So that's just in a couple of days. So again, it might act as a positive or a negative catalyst, something that we might have to follow up with. I'm going to set my series of alerts, but I think you guys did an absolute amazing job calling this specific stock out. Here we go. Let's move on to the next one. Is what I'm saying making sense-ish, right? It's pretty clear, right? The explanation is not bad. All right. So ticker symbol, let's see. CLF. What's going on, James? CLF. So ticker symbol CLF, overall, its overall direction has been making higher highs. Okay, so everyone's agreeing that it makes pretty good sense. So I really do appreciate that. So altogether, it's making higher highs. It recently broke its pattern below this SMA line. So now the SMA line that used to act as a support, which is a price point or an indicator that it would normally act as a support where it would bounce at, is now starting to maybe show more signs of a resistance. So because of that, look at the MACD. The MACD is now descending, and so is the RSI. The RSI, if you were to look at this, it's almost making like lower lows and lower highs. You see this? So before it actually begins to push up, it would make sense on why this thing would start to sell off. So because of that, this would not be something that I would focus on this week. I need this thing to, based off previous patterns, for it to be relevant to its previous pattern. If this thing was making higher highs, it needs to go according to those specific patterns. And it might have been its earnings that drove its price down, and it just needs time for that to become less relevant. But again, as of right now, is this something that I would focus on right now? Heck no. Its overall direction, MACD, RSI direction, is showing signs of a breakup pattern. And yes, it's in that good deal range, but its overall direction is still trending down. So because of that, I would simply not have it as my main focus. Okay. All right, Melissa, what's going on? So Melissa called out ticker symbol GoPro. Okay. So GoPro had a really bad earnings, if I'm not mistaken, right? So yeah, GoPro had a huge sell-off. I thought I set my alert on this. So look at this. What kind of pattern would we call this? Horizontal, ascending, or descending. So again, it had an earnings report, didn't hit its expectation, and had a huge sell-off. Drove the price down all the way down to 580. I'm sure there was much more into it on why the price fell down. But again, it's super oversold. Look at the RSI, look at the MACD. So everyone's saying it's a horizontal pattern. So now looking at previous patterns, looking at this, it makes sense, again, talking about like, am I getting a good deal? Can I sell it for a profit? Again, if this was a phone and these were price points, let's think about it like this. If this was a phone, I used to buy and resell phones, right? So if this was a phone, if I was trying to buy an iPhone 5S and sell it for a profit, and this told me the fluctuation of a past 180 days of price ranges within my area in Arizona of how much phones have, been bought and sold for, right? So the lowest that they've, been bought for are around $5 and around 80 cents, right? And then it hits a price point of around $6.80, and that's normally where it peaks out, where, it becomes more in that sell range, right? So it makes sense on why, hey, around $6, that price range is not a bad deal. Around $6.75 to $7, it's not a bad sell. And is that margin of profit worth it? To me, it is. Over 10% margin of profit, that's worth it to me. But this is a swing trade. GoPro isn't a stock that is just going to shoot straight up, not normally. And it dropped 24% on Friday because of its earnings. So what is the last thing that I would personally like to wait for? I'm not saying that this is the last thing that you need to wait for. This is about what I normally like to do. What is it? Good deal, but no uptrend. Rex Lee, you're killing it. 100%. Confirmation, but no confirmation of uptrend. That's exactly what I'm waiting for, right? Yes, something is a good deal. So again, putting it back into the analogy of, like, let's say it's an iPhone. At $5.80, it makes sense on why I might want to buy some iPhones. But looking at previous patterns, it has been below 570 before, 580 before. So what if I buy a bunch of iPhones that I want to resell at around 580, but then the prices continue to drop, and then it drops all the way down to $4.42? What could I have done better? Well, yes, I understand that it's a good deal right now, but if I simply would have just waited for it to confirm that, okay, now the prices are going back up, and it confirmed that support, and now they're recovering, and it makes sense on why it's direction. If I want to grow the amount of money that I'm going to invest in these iPhones, it makes sense on why, I could sell this for a profit. What's going on, hon? It makes sense, right? Direction. Its direction is trending down right now. And we need to make sure that, at least for myself, I like to focus on direction that's showing signs of an uptrend. I don't know how many times, some of you guys might get lucky from time to time. How many of you guys have ever gotten lucky on buying something at the very bottom and then it validates that support and then it recovers? But how many more times have you bought something at the very bottom and it continues to sell off? How many of you guys have ever done that? Much more have experienced losses than profits, right? When it comes down to that dip buy opportunity. Because there's no direction, there's no structure. Anyone can buy the dip. But it's those that are patient and disciplined that make the difference. Hey, what's going on, Thaddeus? Right? So again, a very simple step that we can take to become a little bit more of a structured trader. Again, it's these small little changes that we implement that can make a big difference. It almost sounds like a tweet. Alrighty. All right, let's finish these. I'm gonna try to do these breakdowns a little bit quicker. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time, and then let's just knock these out, right? So let's go ahead and, all right, NKE. So NKE has been showing signs of it trying to recover. Look at the MACD, look at the RSI. As of right now, the SMA line, again, used to act as a support, now acting as possibly more of a resistance. So is this the best deal I can possibly take advantage of? Not based on current patterns. So what I would like to see is a break of pattern in this thing to actually start making higher highs and not making lower lows, right? With this overall direction trending down. So because of that, I think that it's going to break its pattern. I wouldn't validate this to be the best deal that I can take advantage of. So that's why I'm just going to set my alerts and simply follow up with it. Let's move on to the next one. HTZ. So HTZ has been showing signs of it trying to recover, but look at this overall direction. It's been, even though it's broken above the EMA line before, and then continues to sell off. So because of that, I would need a little bit, because I can analyze that previous pattern, I could see that, hey, I'm going to need a little bit more confirmation, especially as we're getting closer to its earnings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply follow up with it. It might make sense as a day trade, but maybe not so much as a swing trade. So I'm going to set my alert and then add it to the list and then move on from there. Ticker symbol EWW. Here we go. Let's look at closer volume. Okay, or 1 day, 1 minute chart volume. Let's do this. There we go. All right. This one's a little bit more difficult for me to see. I've never heard of this one before. So as of right now, it's been showing signs of a sell-off. It recently showed signs of it breaking above the EMA line. And what I would like to see is for this thing to start making higher highs. So we'll set an alert there, and then we'll set an alert if it ends up breaking below the EMA line again, and we can simply follow up with it. So it's like ticker symbol EWW, so like EU. SNA. Ticker symbol SNA showing signs of it potentially trying to recover. Look at that MACD, look at that RSI. It's not the best deal. It looks like it has low volume. Yeah, pretty low volume. Looking at recent patterns, it's been showing signs of an uptrend, but for how much longer? Look, it's approaching this SMA line as a resistance on the 20-day 1 hour. And on the 180-day chart, you can see that, again, it's becoming more overbought, not so much of a good deal, and it might be due for a pullback. So I'll set an alert if it continues to uptrend, but I'll also set an alert if it ends up pulling back before it continues to uptrend to, again, focus on getting something for a better deal. So ticker symbol SNA. Here we go, ticker symbol F. What's going on, Ignacio? Continuous downtrend pattern. MACD is overextended. MACD is still descending. As of right now, the RSI is trying to consolidate. So I could see that this might be a price point in where it might try to change its direction, right? So we're seeing a lot of consolidation right around the SMA line. So the SMA line was acting as a resistance, and now it might be trying to act as a support. I need more confirmation. I'm not here to try to predict the future, right? So if it ends up making higher highs, then great. I have my alert. We could follow up with it. But until then, I'm not going to try to just jump the gun. So ticker symbol F, we'll add that to the list and follow up with it. Is there that many people like just posting like?
Yeah, just a ticker symbol like without.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of you guys are getting your tickers like blocked just because you just post the ticker symbol. Again, that's why. So they need to be in that ticker call out format, or we won't break them down. Ticker symbol LABD. Okay, so ticker symbol LABD has been trying to show signs of a potential recovery. So it's showing signs of that good deal range, but no confirmation just yet. So again, we've tried to predict reversals before. Probably not the best idea, especially if you're someone that's just getting started. So one thing that we can do here is I'm going to set my series of alerts and then follow up with it. Thank you again for this nice reminder on LABD. So that means LABU, which is its inverse ETF, is showing signs of an uptrend as of right now. Ticker symbol LUV, Patrick Adams. Here we go. Overall support right around $50. It's been showing signs of a potential reversal of pattern. This is Southwest Airlines for those that are familiar with it. Overall direction has been showing signs of a downtrend. Look at the MACD, look at the RSI. Again, it might drive, it looks a little bit on the overbought side. It might pull back before it continues to uptrend. What I'll do is we'll set the alerts here for a potential uptrend. And then we'll set the alerts here for a potential pullback. I think that's a decent way to approach it. I'm gonna do 2 more and then we'll call it a day. I'm actually really impressed with how many stocks that are showing signs of an uptrend we're calling out. I think the market's doing a little bit better now. So overall, TNDM was showing signs of an uptrend pattern. It broke that pattern when it fell below the SMA line. That's this green line that you see right here. And it's been making, in a sense, just not been making higher highs. Now looking at the RSI and looking at the MACD, again, overbought, overextended. It makes sense on why this thing can pull back and head back down to its general support right around $30 before it continues to uptrend. So what I'll do is I'll set my alert here for the break above that, and then I'll also set my alert for the break below that EMA line. OKTA. Okay, OKTA is showing signs of a lot of consolidation. Again, still acting as a resistance to this overall SMA line. I'm not a huge fan of this specific pattern. Look at the MACD, look at the RSI. Its overall direction is not pointing up. So I'm just gonna follow up with it. Which platform am I using? TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. I have like 5-10 videos on YouTube about it. If you want to use it, you don't have to. And if you're trying to look for an alternative outside of the United States, you could Google something or you could YouTube it as well. All right, here we go. We're going to end it with one, ESV. So ESV, overall direction, has been trying to make higher highs. Again, it's now a little bit on that good deal range, but its direction just isn't there. So what I'll do is I'll simply set the alert. The RSI looks good. The MACD, not so much. But I want this thing to start pushing up above the SMA line and for it to start making higher highs. Until then, it's not really something that I would pay too much attention to. So I wouldn't be too focused about that. So ticker symbol ESV, and I have my alert set. We understand its direction, and we can simply follow up with it. So these are the stocks that we broke down today. Ticker symbol ERIC, ticker symbol I, SENS, ticker symbol CROX, REV, NGVC, RRD, FANG, CLF, GoPro, Nike, HTZ, EU, SNAF, LABD, LUV, TNDM, OKTA, and ESV. Boom, boom, boom. That was fun. How many? Can you guys believe that's been 42 minutes? 42 minutes we just spent talking about stocks. For those that are tuning in live, you guys might be like, well, the time flew by. For those that are watching this video, you're like, wow, that was quite a bit of time. Again, if you've never tuned into any of our live streams, I would encourage you to set your alarm and your reminder to tune into our live streams every single Sunday. They're free. You can join. If you don't like it, you can leave. 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's Arizona time. If you want to Google it to see how that translates on over to your time zone. So NG, you said that, what? You said you'll come back. So the thing that I wanted to say about ticker symbol NG is, well, there's not really much to say. Market isn't open. I'm going to have to look more into it. I literally, there's a direct message that I received that reminded me to look at /NG, and then I saw how overbought it was. I want to do a little bit more of an analysis on the fundamental reason on why it pushed up so much, just so I could have a better understanding of, how I want to approach it this week. So I'll follow up with a message in the announcement section or a message within the ETF section if you're part of Learn, Plan, Profit, or if you're part of TechBuds, I'll still post it in the announcement section or post it in the main chat. Hope that's okay. So again, I want to remind you guys that the group chats that we have, if you're struggling to find stocks or to surround yourself with people that motivate you, again, it's free. We have the free Facebook group, Tech Bud Solutions, right? So this is the free Facebook group. We have over 165,000 members within our free Facebook group. That's that third link in the description. Once you get accepted, we have this group chat link right here. This will bring you on over to our free Discord chat. This is how it looks, right? You get a network with tens of thousands of people all across the world. It's that simple. And again, if you end up not liking it, then guess what? You can leave at any time. And then when you feel like you're up to par, or if you've watched a series of my videos and you became familiar with my investing style, I would encourage you to invest like just 30 seconds. Click that first link down below if you guys haven't done so already, and check this out. This is our Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library, and this is where you get to watch me trade live every single day. For those that enrolled in Learn, Plan, Profit about a year ago when I first made it, they've been able to watch me trade live in the stock market every single day. And it's as simple as it gets. Oh, and we're also running a $500 in laptop giveaway. We announced the winner on November 10th. So for all those that enrolled from November 1st to November 10th, I'll be announcing one lucky winner for the $500 and new laptop. On top of that, one thing that I do want to let you guys know is if you're just enrolled in Learn, Plan, Profit, it's every 2 weeks that I plan to host a $500 giveaway and select a new member every single week. Just to give back, right? You guys work so hard and being so active within our team, it's the least that we can do, just to empower and motivate you to stay active within our community. All I ask you to do is, if you're part of Learn, Plan, Profit, to continuously share and assist the members that we have, right, within our group. If anyone has any questions, feel open to have an open conversation. You don't have to be entitled, you don't have to become super opinionated, but simply just try to assist or share resources that you find effective. Same thing when it comes down to Tech Bud Solutions. It's free, it's available for everybody, and if you see that you found something that you want to share with everyone, feel free to share it with an open mindset. Don't be like, hey, invest in this. We never tell people where to buy, we never tell people where to sell. If you're looking for a group or a community to tell you where to buy and where to sell, we are definitely not your team. We are here to empower you and provide you with the basic understanding and the fundamentals that you can build off of, so you can become a self-sufficient trader, so you can learn how to do this on your own, so you don't need us. We would love for you to stay with us and continue to share information and empower the beginners, right? But as time goes on, you're going to need us less, and that's the goal. That means that we're doing things right. So again, thank you guys again for your time. If you guys have any questions, I know a lot of you guys were asking for a discount. I don't offer any discount, but for those, as of right now, right? For those that are interested in really enrolling, either direct message me. The best way would be through Discord. Direct message me. If you're an active service member, if you're in the military or a veteran, we offer a military discount. Also, if you're a student enrolled in school, high school or college, we offer you a discount. All you have to do is message us. Also, if you don't or are not already in Discord, feel free to message me on Instagram, and the link is down below. That's it. How often are you live? I'm live normally 3 times a day. For Learn, Plan, Profit is my first live stream. I trade for about 45 minutes to an hour every single day. And they get to watch me trade live. Then I do my first recap video on YouTube that's open to everybody. And then I usually upload a second video at around 5 to 8 p.m. just for YouTube as well. And then I go live again the next day. And then that's my schedule. So again, first of all, I want you guys to know that you guys don't have to enroll and Learn, Plan, Profit or join Tech Bud Solutions to be successful in the stock market. You know, we would love to work with you. And if you like how we invest and you think that we could, you know, be a positive catalyst for your success, then feel free to check it out, right? Set that to be a goal this week, to learn more about our community and see if it's something that you want to be a part of. But just know that you don't need anything to be successful. We could just maybe reduce the time to learn the information, to become more efficient with your time for those that are busy, to then assist you and provide a little bit more of that assistance that you might need. That's it. That's it. So what is Gavin saying? Oh, I didn't catch the watch list. Okay, Gavin, again, the videos do repost, but I can see that you really want to catch it. So feel free to screenshot it or write it down. I already covered all of these, so I'll try to, that doesn't do anything. But yeah, you have the list right here. You could rewatch the video and it's going to republish shortly after I end the live stream. So first of all, thank you guys again so much for your time. You guys have spent 50 minutes with me, and I truly do appreciate it. That's more than enough, right? If you guys enjoyed these live streams, the Sunday Stock Talks, and would like to see more, please give the video a thumbs up. If you guys haven't subscribed already, we're so close to 400,000 subscribers. We're the largest YouTube channel for those who invest in the stock market. We would love to have you as a part of our journey. And last thing is, let's have fun and let's make money, right? Guac always tastes better on green days. So thank you guys again so much for your time. Continue working hard, continue following dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.